true, man. I don't know
It
what
doesn't shock me that they haven't done anything because they're not going to do anything the whole rest of the season.
So we're back on the first inning. We're back live. We're going to talk about how can we improve Yankee Stadium in this vlog. And also, hopefully, future trades, maybe. I don't know. But hopefully the Yankees do something. But we're back. And I got Michael Caputo with me. And I got Roger, the big Yankee fan. Say hello, guys.
Hello.
So, yeah, man. So, well, oh, yeah, we were going to get into how can we get into the fan experience, right? How can we make that better on this show? But also, there's no trades going on or anything because still there's a lockout as well. So that's the only thing that's going on. Like we said before, the Mets might sign Buck Showalter as their manager. And the Yankees are interested in that Japanese kid from Japan.
They use Suzuki.
Yeah, Suzuki. So, let's see if the Yankees still pick him up on those. The Yankees, to get a Japanese player, you have to pay a certain amount of money, right?
You have to pay a fee to the Japanese team.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know what the big hype is with this guy. He's not going to do anything big in the United States, no matter where he goes.
Well,
so I don't know what the excitement is. I don't want him on the team because I think all the Japanese players are a little dumb.
I don't know much about him. I heard that he hit a lot of. He had 38 home runs last year, and that he was outfielder, but I don't know much about him.
Yeah, but I was watching.
They don't hype these guys up. When was the last Japanese star that was great here?
I was watching video on this guy. Yeah, it's true. I was watching video on this guy Suzuki, and he's hitting home runs off of minor league pitching per se, if you know what I mean. Like, you know what I mean. He's not hitting home runs off of major league quality pitching. You know what I mean. So this guy and Shohei Ohtani, he owns this guy in Japan. He owns him. He strikes him out like religiously. So this kid is not gonna make it in the Major League Baseball. I'm telling you right now, he's not.
I don't know why they like hype these. I'm not discriminating against Asian players, Japanese players in general, but I'm just saying. When was the last great phenom player that came here and that ended up being a great success?
That was Hideki Matsui. There's no great players that come here. And I know you're gonna probably tell me Ohtani, but Ohtani he's injury prone every single year.
But
and yet they still look at this guy as they look at Ohtani as like a bigger star than Mike Trout, which is a little crazy. But Ohtani
Japan has produced a lot of decent pitchers. Like if you go way back, Hideo Nomo for one was
kind of. If you want to say Tanaka was, I guess, kind of a success. I mean, he didn't win anything here, but he was good in the playoffs. But all those other guys were terrible. Deki Arabu sucked. Kei Gawa sucked. Daisuke Matsuzaka sucked.
Oh, Ching-Meng Wan was good. Ching-Meng Wan, he was all right until he hurt his foot.
Yeah,
he was from Japan. He was Taiwanese.
Yeah, he was Taiwanese. Ching-Meng Wan.
Yeah,
he was good until he wanted to go circle the bases, and that was the end of his career.
Ain't that something?
That happened in Houston.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and the other guy was another dud that the Mets picked up. That guy, Kaz Matsui, remember him? He sucked.
Right.
Oh yeah. The guy with the crazy hair, right? Remember?
Yeah, with the hairdo. He had that. He dyed his hair. Yeah, he sucked too. The only one that was, like I told you, I think the two best ones were Matsui and Ichiro. That's it. I mean.
Let's say congratulations to Aaron Judge and Samantha Breckspeak. They got married in Hawaii this Sunday, December 12th. So congratulations to Aaron Judge.
Let me see if I can find it.
Congratulations to Aaron Judge. In terms of the Yankees, and not doing anything else. That's probably going to be the only thing they do this offseason is announce that Aaron Judge got married. What a joke.
I know.
Well, we'll have to see right now before we can predict anything that the Yankees may or may not do. We're going to have to get through this lockout. I mean, well, we know there might not even be a season in 2022, and I'll have to go through all the effort of getting all the refunds.
Yeah, well, be honest with you, I hope there isn't a season for the Yankees' sake. Maybe they should skip the year and maybe take all that whole season off with building a World Series caliber team because that's what they need to do. So maybe they need a whole full year off. And to be honest with you, I think that's what they need to do because they ain't winning a World Series next year. So their best bet is to maybe have this thing fall apart for them this season, and then next year they better go all in and go crazy and just buy the World Series because if they're not going to do anything this season. Even if there is a season, they're not going to do anything.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
You predicted the Braves would win the World Series.
Yeah, but the Braves made moves. I mean, they made great moves, and they made, look at those trades they made. Jorge Soler, they got on Rosario. I mean, Austin Riley was clutch. Freddie Freeman was clutch. Ozzie Albies. They won one after Acuna. They didn't even have their best player. The Braves still won the World Series. The Yankees would never be able to pull something like that off.
Yeah. Well, I'm keeping my hopes up because I've got BX Palmer and I are all set with games. I've got games for both me and BX Palmer, and plus BX Palmer and I and Giselle. That will be Giselle's Christmas present too. I'm treating her to a trip to the top of the World Trade Center this coming year.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
Oh, that's great. That's fun.
And so we've got big plans, and I think it would be a terrible black eye, worse than a black eye for Major League Baseball. If they miss part of the season or all of the season, it would be terrible. Very terrible play.
Because they did it last year too, actually 2 years ago in the COVID lockout. If you remember, they didn't start the season until late July, August. So this might be just like that, or maybe worse. They're comparing this to the '94 strike, and 2 years. So but unless they come to an agreement sooner. But I don't know what's going to be with this season. But right now, the Yankees on paper are not a World Series team. I can tell you that. If the season were to start right now, this team's not winning a championship. Going into spring training with this team, they're going to finish probably like in last place, I would say.
Well, they definitely have to make some moves, and a lot of teams, it's been well documented. A lot of teams signed free agents. The Yankees stayed out of it and did nothing. The other teams realized that the lockout was coming.
Yeah, I don't know how you could be pleased with this team if you're a Yankee fan. Like most fans, I'm sure are not pleased with this product that they're putting on the field right now. But yeah, I don't know how you could be pleased with the team that going into next season with the same exact team with no changes whatsoever. I mean, you can't be happy right now as a Yankee fan. You got to be absolutely livid. There's no way that you could be happy right now because what on this team do you see? What players on this team to carry this team to a championship? What is it? What is just magically they're just going to overnight just have a great season when they did absolutely nothing? Who's on this team that could carry this team to a championship? There's nobody.
Yeah, man, they don't got nobody, man. And maybe Aaron Judge, he might be on his way out if the Yankees don't do nothing to keep anybody.
Yeah, he might not want to sign back because you got to see that this team's a losing team. And if they miss the playoffs next year, that really might decrease his chances of coming back because who would want to stay with this team another 6-7 years when they're not even going to win?
But it's hard to say. I don't have a crystal ball right now. There really is no news. There's no news. There's nothing to talk about. I was checking to see if the owners and players even spoke today, and all of the articles and the research went back to December 1st and December 2nd.
Yeah.
They're not even speaking.
Yeah,
I haven't been keeping tabs at all. I'm not following anything anymore until they actually start up again. But I don't follow the off season anymore like I did in years past because they're boring as hell. I think they've just been terrible. The last good off season was when they signed Garrett Cole, but beyond that, it's been awful. There's been no good off season that I could think of that has been great. I mean, they're all boring and they take too long. And the Yankees, you remember, they wait late till they sign somebody, and this year, forget about it. I don't even know if they're going to do anything.
Well, you see how they treat their own kind. You know how the Yankees treat their own kind. They wait till the last minute to sign their players back. You know?
Yeah, well, there's nobody to sign back now.
It's they don't even want the players they have. So it's like...
They always do that. They're not going to treat Aaron Judge any different.
You know, like Brett Gardner, they didn't want to sign him back, but they took him forever to sign him back.
Brett Gardner's old, though. I don't care about Brett Gardner. I hope Brett Gardner retires.
Even DJ LeMahieu, they waited to the last minute to sign him.
You know, DJ LeMahieu, that was a long wait. But now look at DJ LeMahieu now. I mean, he better not have another horrible season again next year, because that was horrible.
No, he played injured the majority of the year.
You better hope that was an injury, because if he hits 260 again next year, fully healthy, then that contract was bad. And remember, he's 33 years old. He's gonna be 34. I mean, he's getting old, LeMahieu.
Yeah.
Right.
So you got to hope he has a bounce back. And that's all you got to hope, because if the Yankees do absolutely nothing this offseason, you got to hope that all these guys have bounce back seasons, because none of them had great years. Everyone was on the decline except for Judge and Stan. When you think about it, who carried the Yankees to the playoffs this year? Those two guys. Who else was great? Everybody was on the decline. Gleyber Torres, Sanchez, Voit.
Stanton had a very good year, and so did Judge, and they stayed healthy the majority of the year.
But that's the only two guys that were carrying them. The whole rest of the team was terrible, and their pitching was terrible. Their bullpen had the most blown saves in all of baseball. They had 38 blown saves. Their bullpen was terrible. I mean, are they going to address the bullpen too? Their bullpen wasn't even good.
Right.
So you're missing out all these things: rotation, the bullpen, the center field, the first base, shortstop. There's a lot they have to do.
It's true, man.
Have you heard of the thing called the Pagoda ranking?
Pagoda standings. Yeah, Pagoda.
No,
what they did is, even though the Yankees won 92 games, they calculated their run differential and their OPS and everything, and their actual record should have been 86 and 76. So they actually outperformed.
Yeah, but that changes every time, Dakota. They're usually accurate with their predictions, but their predictions change from time to time now. They're up and down. That's a computer thing. That I don't go by computers. There's nothing but a computer thing. That's all it is.
It's only as good as the information that's put into it.
Yeah, but they did make the playoffs, but they barely made the playoffs. They just got in by one game. What's going to be, if it was that close last year, what's going to be this year then? They would have probably to make it.
It's true, man. I don't know what's going to happen, man.
I mean,
as far as making the fan experience at Yankee Stadium better, as of right now, they do some very nice things, and DX Bomber and I really enjoy being on Squad Up, when we go onto the big screen, and DX Bomber and Giselle and the latest blogs just got very nice backpacks, but I guess I could do something more in the way, they're not in the mascot, so you can't. They have that mascot.
Never even had a mascot. They had a mascot a long, long time ago, but they got rid of it. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Mom. I'm doing the show with DX Bomber now.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah, I think they should have people, man, to at least carry the Yankees in the stands or something like that. If not a mascot, maybe like an actual person, like, to walk around and,
They used to have a band.
They're not going to do anything to make this experience better, though, because if Steinbrenner doesn't care about putting a championship caliber team together, what makes you think he's going to care about making Yankee Stadium better?
In the 70s, they had a band. They got the idea from the Brooklyn Dodgers. The Brooklyn Dodgers had a band, and then the Yankees in the 1970s for a while had a roving band, with horn players and a banjo player. But that's gone now.
Yeah, I mean, that costs money to do, and then you have to hire these people to do this. And there's not that many people that can do these things. They don't have talent.
No. They just, as of last year in 2021, Steinbrenner was screaming about all the projected money that he did not make, and he had the staff cut down to a bare minimum. You pointed it out many times. There were no vendors. There were very little security. So he was working with a skeleton staff last year.
Yeah. And Roger, speaking of that, you guys are looking forward to going to games again this year. You, Frank, and Gazelle. Even Gazelle was very upset with the Yankees, because I was talking to Roger, it was a week or two ago, and we were all talking on the phone together, and she was even saying that this team's a disgrace. saying that, that they're not doing anything. They better put a World Series team. I mean, everybody's upset as a Yankee fan. Like, we all, take notice to this. It's not.
Well, they were most definitely very disappointing for the first month of the off season, no doubt about that. But now we have the lockout, and it's the dead of winter, and the zero information is coming out, and I don't have a crystal ball. I have no idea when the lockout will end, and I have no idea what they may or may not do after the lockout ends.
Yeah,
well, it's been longer than a month. I mean, this team has been horrible for the last, I hate to say it, but the last 13 years. I mean, they haven't won a World Series in 13 years, and they have done nothing in past off seasons. They were supposed to address this last year at the trading deadline. We were all saying they need to rebuild their team, and the Yankees don't want to rebuild. I don't know why, but they at least have to retool their team or revamp their team, and they don't even want to do that either. So I don't know why all that information was coming out that we're going to do everything this year, and this was going to be a big off season for them, and everything was on the table, and they were going to, go big. What happened to that? That was just false, I guess, accusations, right? Because that was all lies.
Yeah, well, we just don't know what they're, how Steinman are maybe just happy with the team being relevant to the point of being in contention and making the playoffs, and he isn't too worried about World Series championships.
Well, I think losing with Garrett Cole that year, and then losing all the fans in 2020 with no fans, that made Steinbrenner stand pat. I think now he doesn't want to, he doesn't want to buy the World Series every year like his father did, and he lost. Apparently, they lost more money than everybody, and now he wants to have a low payroll like the Rays, and that's pretty bad. But you're not going to be like the Rays. The Rays are, first of all, the Rays are a great analytical team. Kevin Cash is a great manager, and he's not. Aaron Boone's not going to manage like that. The Yankees are trying to, I don't know why they try to manage their bullpen like the Rays when it never works. I don't know what they're trying to do. They are a terrible analytic team, the Yankees. That's why they can't win anything.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Bryson, man, on the check-in, man. It's true, man. But the thing is, like I always say, the Yankees are so high on analytics. They need to analyze themselves and show themselves that it's not working. You know what I mean? Whatever they're doing
it hasn't worked for a while. This team really is going to turn into, well, they already are, I think, a losing organization, but they're going to turn into like the New York Jets or, like I said, maybe the Detroit Lions or the Cleveland Browns, because the way they're running this team is turning into that now, because they're going cheap every year, and they want to stay under the luxury tax every year instead of going out and buying the World Series. So it's been very disappointing. A team with a high payroll wants to stay under the luxury tax every year and run it like a small market team. It doesn't make any sense.
No, do you
know
do you know if the Giants and Jet games are sold out this year, or does I don't know the attendance on
I wouldn't think so. They suck.
Because I remember at one point in time, you couldn't even buy a ticket to a Jets or Giants.
The best New York team right now is the Brooklyn Nets and the New York Rangers. Those are the two best New York teams. The Knicks completely went down. I don't know what happened to them. They sucked. They started the season off great, and now I don't know what happened to them. Well, they sucked. They came back to reality.
Congratulations to the New York Soccer Club, man. They won the championship. They had the whole Heroes of Canyon today. They went to to City Hall, and they got the key to the city today from de Blasio. So they just got a championship back to New York, man. The New York Soccer Club.
I don't think
to that. And I want to say happy holidays and Merry Christmas to Bryson. Bryson is a very nice young man, and he's very dedicated to following up.
Yeah, man, he's a good guy, man. I can't wait to see him again next year.
But the soccer team here, that's why I told you soccer's not big in the U.S. I don't think it made an impact. The rest of the world doesn't even care about a soccer team winning championship. It's not like a baseball team winning or basketball or football. It's not the same. It's just I mean, you could make hype with it if you want, but it's just not the same. I mean, soccer is not popular here. It's not a popular sport in this country.
I don't know, man. It's getting worse and worse with baseball because a lot of kids ain't playing baseball no more neither. So I don't know.
Yeah,
man.
But what's so good? Soccer's a boring sport. I mean, it's just popular like in every Europe. It's big. It's big in the Caribbean.
You gotta be. You gotta be surprised. There's a lot of people that play soccer, man. There's a lot of people
Yeah,
that play soccer.
but soccer fans though, they don't even televise soccer games. They don't even televise it here.
No, they do.
It's on TV.
They televise them on the Spanish stations and like the Fox Sports and
Yeah,
all
but
that.
I mean, like, but who's going to watch it on those channels? They want to watch it like on
They have a big following, actually. You know, they got that nice crowd. The ex-farmer will tell you, you know, nice crowds come to Yankee Stadium for the New York City Football Club.
Yeah, they be sold out sometimes. Yeah, man. I know they have big crowds, man. So yeah,
That's
man.
like, I don't know. That's, to me, that sport is dead. They're trying to make it big here, but they can't. They're not going to get like people.
A lot of kids play soccer, man. A lot of kids play only soccer.
You know, I'm aware of it. Yeah, I know a lot of kids play it, but I'm saying it's not going to blow up like the other four sports. It's just not. They've been trying to do this for hundreds of years.
Well, I see what I understand what you're saying. You're saying that mainstream, like baseball, football, hockey. You like mainstream.
Yeah.
It's not. You know,
yeah.
Really took off for quite a while was in the '70s when we had the New York Cosmos, and they got a Panamanian player named Pele, and Pele was a huge superstar, and there's huge football superstars. They call it football in Europe and around the world. We call it soccer here, but there's huge stars, worldwide soccer stars throughout the world.
Yeah, throughout the rest of the world, it's big. I didn't say it wasn't. It's very, very big in Europe. It's huge in like the Caribbean. It's huge in Mexico. It's huge in South America. It's huge in it's huge in like those Arab countries. But in terms of USA, America, I don't know. I don't even know if it's big in Canada.
Yeah, it's you know, it is. I can, you know, I'm not a major soccer fan myself, but if I wanted to really follow it, there's plenty of airtime available. I can go to anyone in the sports network and get the matches.
Yeah.
And it really is available for people to see.
Yeah, I guess it's hard to invest. I watch it maybe for a couple of seconds and then I just shut it off. It's depressing.
It's like watching you know, but so is hockey. But hockey has, you know, hockey's on the ice.
Hockey's exciting, though. I've been to hockey games. Hockey's fun to watch. I've been to a lot of hockey stuff. I mean, hockey's a fun sport. Even if you don't like it, it's fun to watch. I just can't get into soccer. It's just like, I don't know. I get depressed. It's depressing to watch.
And the night
watching the WWE.
During hockey, Michael, during hockey in the 1970s, there was a major rivalry between the Philadelphia Flyers, who were known as the Broad Street Bullies, and the New York Rangers. And there was an old saying that said, "I went to a fight and the hockey game broke out."
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, and hockey games are a lot of fun, and the fights and all the brawls, and believe it or not, the fans even get into it. They start getting into fights and stuff. I never thought hockey would have fights with fans.
You guys remember the movie with Slapshot? Slapshot with the Hanson brothers, and it had Paul Newman in it.
Yeah.
It came out in the 70s. It was about the New York Chiefs, or the Chiefs hockey team. That was a fun movie, and Paul Newman was in that movie. I don't know if you guys ever saw it.
Yeah, Paul Newman and that girl. The girl's in it. I forgot. She's in it. Yeah, I saw it. That was a great movie.
Yeah, that was a crazy movie, man.
Right, that was fun, but yeah, the Flyers, you know, they had Bobby Clark and all kinds of Stokes, and they had all of these bully guys. They were known as the Broad Street Bullies, the Philadelphia Flyers.
Yeah.
And within 2 minutes of the game, and at that time they didn't wear helmets. So when you were having fist fights, you could do some damage. You know, now they wear the helmets, they wear the face guard, and you really...
They didn't wear helmets back then, I heard. They didn't wear the helmets in the 80s or 70s.
No. Eddie Giacomo was a goalie in the 1950s. He was a goalie for over 20 years, and he didn't wear a face mask as a goalie. Ooh. And then there was another goalie that started wearing a face mask, and he started marking his face mask putting
just a Yankee fan, or do you follow the other New York teams? Or you're just a Yankee fan?
Oh, yes, I'm a huge baseball fan. But I casually, I played 2 years of Pop Warner football. I mainly played baseball, but I played Pop Warner football in 1974 and 1975 for the North Tennessee Samurai. And I've always liked the Jets and Giants equally, you know.
I only like
to do, but I like the Jets and Giants equally.
Yeah, I'm just a Yankee fan, and that's really it. I don't follow the other teams like that either that much. Just once in a while, like I really don't watch the games that much. Like Knick games, I don't really watch a lot. Ranger games, I just once in a while.
You're a big baseball person.
But yeah, I'm a baseball fan more than anything.
Right. I played Little League Baseball from 1972 to 1976, and then I played junior high school baseball from 77 and 78, and then I was on the high school team, junior varsity, and intramural from 79 through 81, and then I just made it to the varsity team playing, and at that point in time I ran into some trouble with drinking alcohol and getting in trouble and cutting out of school, so I got put off the team.
Yeah, sorry to hear about that. I'm glad that...
And that was my own fault, you know, I got involved with drugs and alcohol.
Yeah, a lot of people learn in that generation, man, and a lot of people, it doesn't make you a bad person, but the main thing is that you cleaned up your act and everything was good now. Everything was...
I don't think I've ever said this on the show, but I had severe alcohol and substance abuse difficulties, and I still have a cigarette habit, but I have the better part of 18 years sober now.
I like to drink too. I drink more occasionally, but I like to have my beer and stuff. But I try to I'm not an alcoholic, but I like to drink. I don't smoke, but I like to drink.
Yeah, there's plenty of people that can, I was just one of those people with a very addictive personality, and I could not handle alcohol properly. I tend to do an everyday drinker and an excessive drinker, and it had a profound effect on my life, and I got into major problems. I was in and out of jail. I had all kinds of problems. And I'm just one of those people that's not able to drink or use drugs recreationally. An addict and alcoholic, and that's why the best thing for me to do is to stay sober.
Yeah. It's more healthy that way, man. You'd be better off.
I still have the funny cigarette habit, and that's a terrible habit to have. I know it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta get...
It's I like to drink more occasionally. I haven't drank in a while. I drink more at the summertime though. I'm more of a drinker in the summer. But the winter, it's good to drink a brandy or some vodka, or I have a couple of bottles. I like drinking brandy.
I think I needed to have it every day. You can have a few drinks one week and then go another week without having it. I was an everyday excessive drinker around the clock. I turned it.
Gotta be careful, man. If they're gonna drink, make sure you drink a lot of water.
Sometimes you have the urge to drink and you just want to drink. You know what they say too? If you have a cold, the best thing to drink for a cold, they say is it's supposed to help your cold go. They say vodka and brandy. They say brandy makes the cold go.
Grandpa's
and tequila too. They say tequila. Tequila is good too.
Crown Royal. Yeah.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, I mean, all those drinks, they say they make the cold go away. If you got a bad cold or a sore throat, you sip on that and it makes it go away. And it is true, because I've drank brandy and it goes away. It actually helps the cold.
Right. I was a big beer and malt liquor guy, and I also drank
malt liquor. That's heavy stuff. Malt liquor.
Yeah, that's like Easy-E and all that, right? That's chilling with the homies.
Yeah, I was drinking the malt liquor, cheap and strong. I spent a lot of time in Plainfield, New Jersey, which is very similar to the Bronx. And, you go to the corner liquor store and you get your malt liquors, Yeah. And those were some rough times.
Yeah, and I was going to ask you too. I was talking to Frank about it also. But me and him are big fans of it too. Have you seen? I'm sure you watched the TV show. It was like the most popular show at the time. It still is. The Sopranos.
I never really got to see The Sopranos because I never really had HBO.
Wow, you missed out on life.
You missed out on you missed out on the best show on TV.
I know a lot of the locations were in New Jersey.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it was
all original locations
show,
too. Yeah, real locations.
Right.
But you can stream it though if you have you got Hulu or any of those things.
We have some streaming networks that have different types.
Yeah, you can stream it, or you could buy it on Amazon. They have the Blu-ray, the whole Blu-ray set, the complete series available on Amazon. I bought it, so I have it. I watched it. Been watching every episode. It's phenomenal. I mean, the show is the greatest TV show in history. I think. I mean, and the whole series.
I'm trying to get into it a little bit, and the actor. What was the actor's name? He passed away very young. Yeah, he passed away young.
Yeah, that was really sad. It was a tragedy. Yeah, he died.
Can't believe that.
Yeah, very sad. He died in 2013. That was a shame. Yeah, they had the funeral for him on Mulberry Street. They have the actual video too of his funeral. I was watching that. And it's the same. It's a shame. You watch the show now, and it's sad to watch it too now because every time you watch it, you think of him. And it's a shame,
Yeah.
There's a YouTuber that drives around in a truck, and he's called Mooney, M-O-O-N-E-Y, Mooney Dashcam. And what he does is he tells stories about gangster, and he takes you on the drive to the locations where different types of gangster things took place, where hits took place, or where clubs were, or where some of the mansions were that the gangsters had. And but so I like Mooney Dashcam quite a bit. He'll take you around to different types of crime locations and tell you the story.
Cool. Yeah, I love gangster movies and gangster stuff.
So you can check them out. He's on YouTube, Mooney Dashcam.
Yeah, I have to check this out.
There's a lot of stories.
The show was great. You should definitely buy it, or stream the whole thing.
Yeah, we'll check some of it out for sure. Oh, by the way, my stepfather, my mom's second husband, was Italian American. He was also a World War II veteran that that had major ties with the Yankees. And so my mom and sister have the last name of Ruggiero, Ruggiero. And in New Jersey, there is a big club called the Manor, where they have weddings and parties and that kind of thing. And my mom and sister were scheduled to go to the Manor, and they gave the name Ruggiero. And so they walked into the Manor, and they both into this big banquet room. And all the gangsters who were in the banquet room, they had the guys with the slick back hair and the sunglasses and the suits on and everything. Wow. And the reason for that party was because of the last name of Ruggiero. You follow? And they ended up walking into a syndicate gathering.
Wow. That's funny.
They looked over at them. They were trying to figure out what family they were from, and mom and two of them basically, just had an appetizer and got up and got out of there.
You talking about the mafia? Like, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, it was a syndicate gathering at a place called the Manor, which is in New Jersey. Oh,
yeah, and I wanted to tell you this, too. If you're aware of it, if you're not, I'll tell you anyways, but there's, the five major families, the five major, Italian mob families in New York. You got the Gambinos, the Genovese family, Lucchese, Colombo, and Bonanno. That's the five.
Right. See, I know that my mom had the last name of Ruggiero, Ruggiero. And you know what else was just kind of a little bit strange? My name Roger, which is kind of a German-English name. In Italian, that would be Ruggiero.
Wow.
So you have Italian in you, or What do you?
No, my ancestors. My sister obviously has Italian because my sister and I share the same mom, but we have different biological fathers.
Okay.
Her biological father was Italian American, and that's why she has Italian. But I have mainly English, Irish, and German. And my great grandfather fought in the Civil War. Actually, was in the 11th Corps, 119th New York Division of the Army of the Potomac, and got captured at the Battle of Gettysburg on the first day of the battle, and was sent to a prison camp called Andersonville Prison Camp in Georgia, where he went in and he was a 180-pound soldier, and he came out barely weighing 97 pounds. And my great-grandfather, who's been dead for like 30 years now, lived to be close to 100 years old. And that was his grandfather, and he knew him in the early part of the 20th century. So when I spoke to my great-grandfather, it was like speaking back to someone that fought in the Civil War.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, man, that's crazy, man.
Like Frank loves, we love all history. We love your old.
Right.
It's great.
And, you know, most of my family is from many generations. You know, old German, old English, old Irish.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, great.
Yes, Frank, you know any good Italian restaurants in the Bronx? Because you were telling me there's that many good restaurants over in the Bronx, right, Frank?
Yeah, man. They're actually none anymore, man.
Yeah.
Maybe in Little Italy, yeah, you can find an Italian restaurant, yeah, over there on Arthur Avenue over there. But other than that, you're not gonna find good pizza. Like
yeah, you got to go to Cornwall's in Manhattan. That's supposed to be excellent. You heard of that one, Cornwall's? That's supposed to be great.
yeah, that's good. But those places don't exist no more, man. A lot of those places.
Yeah, well, especially in the Bronx, it's mostly takeout places. Yeah, they don't have like those big restaurants that they do like in Manhattan.
The only
Yeah,
the only pizza I eat around here is from Patsy's. That's it.
Yeah, I've heard of Patsy's.
I like that place up the street on 161st Street that we'll go to.
Yeah, Patsy's is the greatest pizza. That's the most famous one, man. Patsy's, man. That's
I love pizza with the toppings. I'm a big toppings fan. I love like sausage on it, like peppers. I like anchovies. I never really tried, but I love all that. Like I love all that. Like when they put eggplant on it, baked ziti, or I love all the toppings.
Yeah.
I don't get me wrong. I like pizza that's plain, but it's better when they have to put the toppings on it.
Especially when especially when Pizza Hut does it. You ever had the joints from Pizza Hut with the everything pizza?
Yeah, I haven't had Pizza Hut in forever. Pizza Hut went out of business, so yeah, they don't have a Pizza Hut no more.
Yeah, they got Pizza Hut.
And on Victor's side of the family, the Italian side, they had a very close friend of the family named San Gregorio, and his son was actually mayor of the city of Linden, New Jersey for quite a long period of time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But all those pizzerias and like Pizza Hut, Domino's, that's not real Italian pizza. That's like cheap, that's like imitation.
Oh,
like you go to Domino's or you go to Pizza Hut with a Little Caesar. Yeah, I mean, if anyone knows if you're a real Italian,
you can't find good pizza no more, man. You can't find good pizza no more, man.
Oh, yeah, I don't know where you go. Like I said, there's calm ones, but there's not many good, there's not many good Italian restaurants. Like, you got to go to, far out. You got to go to,
Staten Island.
Manhattan usually has a lot.
Staten Island has some really good Italian restaurants.
Yeah, and Brooklyn does. I heard Brooklyn has a lot. Like, if you go to, Bensonhurst or, Bay Ridge, those neighborhoods. And I guess Arthur Avenue.
Virginia. You can't find pizza in West Virginia.
Yeah, I know. If you go to Arthur Avenue in the Bronx, that's supposed to have a lot of Italian restaurants and eateries and stuff, I heard. The Bronx Tale is filmed there.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Bronx Tale.
But,
anyway, I'm going to wrap it up, you guys.
Yeah, we'll wrap it up now.
And you guys keep out the good show if you stay on. And
I'm gonna hang up myself. I'm gonna get something to eat.
Okay?
All right, good, man. I'll talk to you on the next one.
Okay, take care. Talk to you tomorrow. Have a good night, Michael.
All
You
right.
too, man. It was good talking to you.
Absolutely.
Good talking to you too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
But
So, Frank, we were just talking about making the experience better in Yankee Stadium. They got to do a lot of things to make the stadium better.
yeah, man, we'll carry that on Friday, man, to see what actually. I mean, they gotta do the like the line to get into the stadium better.
Yeah.
I mean, just
A lot of things. They can't do that thing where you go in and you got to do that scan now. Scan. You got to scan the ticket. You have to, like, in order to go in, you got to have like a. They do this thing now. I don't know if it's mandatory, but you have they when you show your ticket, you have to actually you have to write something down or something just to get in. It's a big ordeal. Hey, they never did that at the old Yankee Stadium.
oh, they were doing that at one time, yeah. Then they stopped, I think, though. But I don't know how it's gonna be. Yeah, they were doing that at one
They
time.
might see that thing. I hope it stops. That was one of the things
They
I
were.
didn't like it.
They were. That was
stopped.
contact tracing. They were doing contact tracing. That's what they were doing.
Oh yeah, that's it. And I think they stopped. And they're not doing those. You don't have to get a COVID shot again, right? Like they don't put you through that anymore, right? You just go in, right? If you
Well, at
you're
the time
vaccinated
they
or not.
stopped. At the time they stopped during the summer, but now New York City has a mandate that you have to have a COVID shot to go in any public space now.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know about
Oh,
next
the
year.
thing I was talking about, was where you go through with the ticket, you have to do something on your phone just to confirm it. Yeah, that's a pain. You got to like use your phone, and then you got to scan the ticket or something. I wouldn't want to do that.
It's
Just go to
digital, mobile ticket. It's a mobile ticket. You got to scan it. Some people have problems with that too, man.
Yeah, so they take your phone. Then what they do is they actually have to take your phone to. They see, that's why I don't like that. They never did that at the old stadium.
But I think they still print the tickets though. If you buy them from Ticketmaster, you can print them out still.
Yeah.
Though.
Well, I'm sure when you went, you didn't have to go through that because maybe they don't do it no more.
Yeah, we don't know until next season how's it gonna be, man. They might change
It's
it
gonna
up.
probably be different now, and I don't. They didn't even get a lot of fans last year. It was full capacity, and they didn't sell out. So
No
that's
way.
another problem that they have to improve. Is the Yankee fans are not gonna buy into this team, man. They might not come to the games next year. It might be worse.
They have to figure out a way to bring fans back, man. Because if not, they're not gonna make it. They're not gonna make it.
I mean, this is going to be a major problem now
It's
because
scary.
if they're going to just do nothing and not, get great players and a winning team, then no one's going to want to watch the games. No one's going to go to the stadium,
But
and no one's going to buy into this.
yeah, it's true, man.
So-
But anyway, let's end it here, man.
Yeah.
And we'll continue on Friday, man. But it's been good talking, man. But I'm gonna go get something to eat, and I'm gonna sign off. And yeah, man. This
Yeah.
is good.
As far as next week goes, see, I know you're going to do what is it? One show left this week. I might not be on the next show, but I'll still, then if not, then I'll do the show after New Year with you. So.
Yeah, it's all good. Don't worry about it, man. I'm gonna do Friday and Tuesday, and then that's it, man. I'll be back in January sometime.
All right. So.
Or maybe when the lockup happens, I'll come back. Who knows? But let's see.
But anyways, it was a good show, man.
Yeah, man.
I'll see you soon.
Definitely. So I'll talk to you then. All
I'll
right,
keep
man.
in touch with you. All right. I'll see you, man.
All right. So and everybody else that's been watching, thank you for watching. I'm heading out. Bryson, if you're still watching, thank you, brother. I'll see y'all on the next one. But yeah, man. Been good. Like, share, subscribe, please. It helps with the algorithm if you lasted this long.